Hey YouTube, I just made this wonderful and lovely romper which I absolutely love, and if you want to learn how to make it too, stay tuned for this tutorial. Hey YouTube, I will be doing a romper today. I'll be sewing a romper, and this is a favorite romper of mine that I got from H&M. You can't even see the shape, it's like falling apart, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the color. And it has these ties in the front. Here you can see it right there. It has an elastic in the waist, and it's shorts, but it kind of looks like a skirt because it's so baggy. So I want to remake this again. So the easiest way I knew how was to sort of draw out the shape. I cut the bottom crotch area of these already. You can see it hanging from the bottom, and you'll see it in my other video, how to make a jumpsuit, how I cut leggings and make it into something else. So I drew it on this paper to give you guys a better idea, and also to help myself visually. When I cut out the crotch and turn the pants or these shorts sideways, this is what you're gonna have. That longer portion right there and that shorter portion right there. So when you finish doing that, you're going to sew up from that longer portion up to the top, and you're going to sew up from that other side, the crotch, up to the top. And then you'll fold it out flat, and you'll see that that's going to be your jumpsuit. Well, I'm making a romper, so it's just like a jumpsuit but shorter. I'll show you the fabric that I'm using here. My fabric right now is inside out, but this is the print. If you can see it right there, that's like a leopard. Let me zoom in. You see it? That's a leopard print right there. So it's similar to the color in this one that I was going to use. So let's get started. Well, actually, I'm going to pin from the crotch area all the way up to the waist, and then I'll take it out the flat waist so you can see how it looks. Okay, YouTube, I wanted to show you really quickly. What I did was I sewed down the sides, as you can see here. And this is the longer part, so you know that that's the back side. You're going to take it after you sew it. See, the last video you saw me pin it down, so I sewed it down. Now you take it out the right way, the flat way. You see that? And it's looking like a bottom already. You're going to have that bottom part open. So what you're going to do is you're going to match up the two crotch seams like this, you see? This is one side, and this is another. And you're just gonna see the seams right there. I don't know if you can. You can pin it together, take it and you align it together, and then you pin. You can put a couple. I'm just gonna put one for right now, just so you get an idea of what I'm talking about, so that the crotch can go like this continuously. So you would stitch across on a zigzag. What you're going to do is, after you finish sewing down the sides, you're going to open it up, and then you're going to find the crotch seams, you're going to pin that together, and you're going to stitch across on a zigzag stitch. I'll do that and come back with the next step. Okay, YouTube, so you see how it's coming out so far. I have the bottom part right here. And if you get confused from what's the front to the back, when you're done figuring that out, you could just put a pin in the front, just so you know. And so you see these are looking like shorts already, and I want them to have a baggy look, so it could kind of look like a dress in a bit, but it's kind of like, it's shorts, but it'll look like a dress because it's going to be hanging and flowy and loose. So now what you want to do is you want to cut out your top portion. I already have the top from my romper that I want to cut out, but you can use a t-shirt, any style that you want that has a neckline that you would like, and you can use that as your top. This is where you have total creative freedom to do whatever you want. If you want it backless, if you want the top halter, if you want it like a tank top, whatever you want. So When you do that, you'll just lay down whatever pattern you're using for your top portion, and then you'll use this bottom as a guide to know how wide you want the top. Okay, YouTube, I went on ahead and cut out the top, and I already hemmed what I needed to hem already. So this is the top part. So when you're done cutting out the top, the only part that you need to start to stitch is the side part underneath the armhole. Your armholes are here. You're going to stitch on a zigzag down the side of one side, and then you're going to go to that other side underneath that armhole where the armhole starts, and then you're going to sew. You're not going to sew the top part yet. You're going to leave that open because you need, however way you decide to do the top part of your jumper, you need, if you're not using a zipper, you're gonna need to find a way to get into it. And whether that's a halter top, a strapless top, backless, whatever, you need enough room up here to be able to get into your jumper. You're going to first stitch down the sides underneath the arm. And if you really want it clean, you can overlock this, but if you're not up to that, it's fine. You can just zigzag stitch the sides. When you get to the top, you're going to hem. You see how I have those pins across the top like that? That's hemmed over one time. And then in the back, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put the pins across, if you could see that, and it's hemmed over one time right now with the pins, and you're going to zigzag stitch all the way across the top, and you're going to zigzag stitch here all the way across the other top, still leaving it open. Now, how you're going to do the casing for the string, like how you see on here, if you want your top to be like this, is that after you hem it on the top, right, you're going to take it, I'm trying to have it on here, you're going to take that top, let's say you finish zigzag stitching it, you're going to fold it over one time, leaving just enough room for whatever, you're going to fold it over one time, leaving just enough room, it's like a casing for that string to go through. So you're going to do that in the front top, and you're going to do that in the back top. So if you want to get ahead of yourself as well with the shorts, go ahead and hem the bottom of those shorts. All you have to do is fold it over one time, a ½ inch, fold it over another, and then do it on a zigzag on the bottom. So once you do that, the last step that you'll need to do is insert the elastic, and you'll also have to cut out the strings for your top portion so that it can come out like this. And you'll be done. Okay, YouTube, I am done with my casing. I went on ahead and did the casing on both sides. So now, depending on how wide your casing is, that's how you're gonna know how wide of a strip of fabric to cut out, and you'll be able to determine the length. So you're gonna take a strip of fabric, and you're going to fold it in half. You can pin it down if you want, and just zigzag stitch all throughout the length. Okay, YouTube, so I went ahead and cut my strip and then sewed it down and pulled it inside out. I'm pretty sure you can figure out how to do that. I didn't determine the length yet because I have to still put it through. Now remember, in your on the top half of your romper, you want to make 2 slits in the front, and I put 2, I don't know if you could even see that, but I put 2 pins spaced apart about 2 to 3 inches. See where my nail here is and here? That's the distance between. You're going to make 2 slits. If you have a razor, even better. I don't have one right now, so I'm going to have to snip it along, and make sure you're doing it on just that first layer. You're going to snip 2 slits because you want your string to come out of those slits. And I will put it through the back one first, because since it's going to come out So here, we're going to go through that casing. You put a safety pin at the end of your string and put that right through the casing so that you can feel it going through. Just like that. And you'll feel the safety pin. You're just going to pull that through. Pull that through. I hope I'm doing it right. Yeah, it should be. It's going to come through on the other side, but then I'm trying to figure out. Well, if I need, well, this is one side. I'm doing it through the back part first. Okay, look. You see that? So it's going through there. You see how it's coming together? That's the back. So you're going to pull that all the way through until it's even. Right? And then you can just bring it through the front part now. We still have this pin. And feel it, do the same thing through the front, except now when you get to the slit that you made, then you can pull it out. See, here's the slit that I made and it just came out. So you can pull that right out. And so now I guess to get it through the other side, you can take that safety pin off, put it on the other one, and do the same thing to the other front half. It's going to be like this. See? That's going to be how, oh, it's so pretty. I cannot wait to put this on. OMG. Okay. See, you're looking at the top already. It is so cute. So you want to even out the strings in the front. Look at the top. See, here's your armholes. And so now you can adjust this any way that you want. Stitch the ends. Just push in, tuck in the ends like that, and then do an over stitch. Do the same thing to the other side. You're going to tuck in those ends of that string and then do an over stitch. So the last part is to get your elastic, measure it around your waist, and add an inch. I've already done that. So I am going to, you can insert elastic two ways. You can either do it the beginner way, which is you're going to make a casing on the bottom part, just like I did a casing on that top, and put the elastic through, or you can just stitch the elastic to the very edge of this, making sure you kind of pull the elastic along so that this can scrunch up along with it, and you do that all the way around, and then you turn it over one time like that. Okay, YouTube, so I already added my elastic to the bottom, and now for the top, what I did was I hemmed the top over one time so that it could have a clean finish. And so actually I folded it over once and then twice so that there wouldn't be any raw edges. I want this to be a clean and professional project. So now what you're going to do is try to stretch out the bottom part like that to match the top, because the top is not scrunched in yet because it didn't have the elastic. You're now adding it to the bottom that has the elastic. So you're going to stretch that bottom out and kind of match up the sides, the front center seam and the back center seam, so that everything could be even, so the top can, you know, the sides can be where the sides need to be, the front center and back center can be where they need to be. So how you're going to do that is you're just going to stretch out that bottom, and then you can place pins where the sides are and where the front center and back center are. So now you're going to take this top part and this bottom, and then you put it together, and you're going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around. And while you're doing that, you're going to be pulling on your elastic so that it can, the top part can be even to the bottom part. You're going to be stretching the elastic, and it'll be grabbing onto the top part, and it'll scrunch that up just as it's bringing that. And we are done, YouTube. We have done our first romper. Yay! Okay, YouTube, I am done with my romper and I absolutely love it. Look at that. It is so, so pretty. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you that I forgot to mention in the video, and I'll explain it really quickly. It's really, really simple. Remember, we did the casing in the back here. What I noticed on my other romper was the manufacturer, they stitched the back casing, both of the ends on the back, so that this string doesn't move everywhere. So you want to put a stitch to stitch down the back casing at the corners and attach it to that string that's attached to it on both corners so that the back can stay in place. So I would suggest that you try it on, see what height that you would like the back to be, and then stitch it. You can put a pin or ask someone to help you or whatever. You stitch it where you need it to be. And then for the front casing, you just leave that alone, leave it free so that you can adjust it in the front. Because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is that when you're wearing it, the string is going to move all over the place. It's going to be just adjusting itself, and then you're going to have to keep fixing the straps. Do it this way. It'll definitely help, where you stitch the back and then leave the front free so that you can just adjust the front. But I am so, so happy with this. This is so pretty. It came out so flowy and pretty. So it can look like a dress when it's on you, but it's a romper, and it's really classy, trendy, and just really cute and flowy for the summertime. So you can dress this up and you can dress it down a bit, but this looks really, really dressy and casual at the same time, which I love, love, love.